Alright, today it is currently Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. It is 4:41 p.m. What I want to make sure I document on this podcast, as I just captured on video, is ongoing activity creation and another example of the same engagement in the criminal elements. This is ongoing monitoring conduct as it is occurring inside of the room, which is a private space, for purposes of federal prosecution and documentation of the public entity that is engaged in ceaseless monitoring, acting in concert with the people of the state of California. And on video, what is shown is that which I've already published ample documentation about with regard to the control of this television outside of my operating the television. This is from blocking channels for purposes of engaging in the same visible and audible activity and engagement in harassment. It is also that which is controlling the functionality of the television, which is internet operated. It's a communication device, and the television is a continuous means of monitoring while I'm inside of the room. And at 4:35 p.m. as I'm watching MTV, that's what's shown on the video that I captured. This is the movie that I'm watching. This is the channel that I'm watching. And as I'm watching it, the channel goes black. I want to be clear with regard to exactly what I was doing at that time. With regard to what I've shown is the behavioral pattern, stalking with activity, even pursuant to the most minute change in activity or activity that I'm engaged in, physical and or on a communication device. And as I'm looking at the television, my eyesight is centered at the bottom of the screen. This is every movement that I'm engaged in, including breathing patterns, including the movement of my eyesight, where I'm looking at. If I look in a different direction, the state is creating activity for purposes of monitoring. Okay, that is very close surveillance conduct, and this is a behavioral pattern. And as I am looking at what is a different portion of the television screen, this is when the TV screen goes black. And it stays black at 4:35 p.m. and it remains black. This is the television that is not powered off. They're merely engaging in turning off the screen. And this is while I am in no way operating the remote. This is that which I've already shown, that this venue is a means of monitoring me inside of a hotel room. Using the television to do so is nothing but a method of activity creation. It is engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring. It is facilitation of a public entity's ability to monitor. That is a means of activity that is for purposes of monitoring with communication devices. And so with simultaneity to my looking at the bottom portion of the television screen as opposed to where I'm looking upward, and it was pursuant to what was currently on at the movie at that time. So I just want to be detailed with this is the level of stalking conduct and monitoring that the entity is engaged in. And so as I'm looking down at this bottom portion of the television screen, this is when the TV screen goes black. And again, it is not powered off. And this is occurring as I am in no way operating the remote. So this is outside of my operation, which is why I'm documenting it, because I'm not controlling the television, and this is the constructive presence of the entity in the room. This is already established with regard to the state's presence, the fake sun over the venue. Right now, it remains. The state's directed light on the entirety of this venue, under the shaded walkway, into this room in any way that the state can aim. So, as I've already established, the people of the state of California group stalking, maintenance in the path, while the state is stalking with audible activity and stalking via their group presence. I've already established that. And this is ongoing inside of the room. So at 4:35, the television screen goes black, and it remains black, okay? At the moment that I press record on the phone. So my cell phone is off. So I reach over, turn on my phone. That takes about 25 seconds. The television screen remains black, okay? At the moment that my phone is already on, the group stalker, because that's what it is, the state of California, waits until I press record on the phone, and at that same time, the television comes right back on. So two things I want to speak to that. That is stalking with activity as well. Understand that's the creation of activity as the television is turned back on with simultaneity to my operating a communication device. That is P.O.C, okay? In addition to the fact that it is the absence of coincidence, the entity knows exactly what I'm doing, which is why it is using the television as I'm looking in a different direction on the television screen, and using that television as a means of creating light activity, audible activity, and visible activity, while group stalkers, that is the state of California, who you already know is present via police, fire, and ambulance, who are stalking via sirens, who are stalking via planes and helicopters. I've shown all of this at this venue. That's what the entity is doing while it is controlling the operation of this television. All right, that is the engagement in the elements of monitoring pursuant to that behavioral pattern. That is the use of inanimate objects, okay? And this is that which is the behavioral pattern as you want to apply it to anything, as I have shown the entity uses for monitoring in a private space, including the swamp cooler, including the literally making noises in the walls and the ceiling in the location where I am located in the room as I am there, stalking with activity. I've shown this in the bathroom. I've shown this at the vanity. I've shown this as I'm sitting, what is in the bed, and the state is creating ongoing noise while group stalkers are maintaining presence in the path all around, okay? At 4:47, which is where I'm capturing this video, and the television screen comes back on, what you observe is that the channel is on the same channel. That is MTV, where I was watching the movie. Understand, again, this is just confirmation, corroboration of what I have established. I am not operating the television while it is being controlled. That turning it on at the moment that I'm turning on my phone is P.O.C. And in addition to that, when I turn off the television, when it is me, the television goes back to channel 2. And you would see the entirety of what is the spectrum menu, which is what is revealed as the person that is operating the television turns on the television on and off. The television was not turned off. The state is monitoring. They are controlling the television, and that's why the screen is turned off. It goes black, and it stays black until the moment I start recording on video. And the movie that I was watching on MTV is right back on, and that is also demonstrating what is not my controlling of the of this. Well, it is a communication device of the television, and this is just further evidence of that. If it was me that was turning on and off the television, it would have been on channel 2, and it would have had the greeting, the menu, and all of that. That is not seen either. I just want to speak to what is P.O.C. This is more of that, which I have already documented. This is going to ongoing criminal conduct by Economy N, by the people of the state of California, as, of course, the state proper, the public entity is continuously monitoring, engaged in continuous corporate invasion of privacy, engaged in ongoing communication and of a unprecedented threat to my life, physical safety, and overall well-being inside of a private space, and doing so through the use of inanimate objects, fully aware of what I am doing as I am doing it, even where I am doing it inside of the room, pursuant to the most minor detail, including where my eyes are moving, how I'm breathing, what I am doing moment by moment. Okay, that is an ongoing threat by the government, by the state that's monitoring with these people who are in relevant position, using their vehicles, using their person, using their presence as a means of monitoring with that public entity. It's currently 4:49 p.m., and that is P.O.C. This is activity creation. This is ongoing criminal conduct by the state. And the totality of that entity, as I have continuously documented and published, the specific actors of that entity, acting both directly and vicariously, are a part of what is an ongoing criminal act. That is Federal Group Stalking and Monitoring. That is P.O.C. at Economy Inn, located at 2301 South Euclid Avenue.